Okay, so I hope you are all well. I want to make a very quick video. I don't know how quick or how short it's going to be, but I want to show you how we've been using Facebook and Instagram to drive people to book our serviced accommodation units, and how every single person should be doing the same thing. Now, when I say every single person, I don't mean you have to start doing it tomorrow, but I think you should have it in your archives. I think you should have it in your locker, because the most effective way to generate these leads is to understand how this Facebook engine works, but more importantly, create a system and have that in place so when you're ready to get into stage 2. Most people are going to learn about this and they're going to try and jump into it straight away, and I don't advise it, because there are one or two tiny tricks that can make your cost significantly reduced. And in fact, if you do it correctly, it pretty much helps to annihilate or reduce your Booking.com commission. Now again, I'm not saying don't use Booking.com. I believe it's a necessary evil. I think every single one of us need Booking.com, so do not try and get rid of them. However, there are one or two things that you need to do in terms of utilizing Booking.com to make this actually work for you. So I hope I don't forget anything, but I wanted to give you as much information as possible. I'll try and make this video as detailed as possible. There are some things that I'm not going to go into. If there's further clarification that's needed, you can find the information on YouTube or Google, or if you've done one of my serviced accommodation training courses, you would already understand it. And if you haven't, then of course we go into detail on how to use this specific system to grow your serviced accommodation business, reduce your OTA commissions, and own your customers. That's the most important thing, and that's where a number of people fail, especially the new people coming into service accommodation. They forget that ownership is probably the most important thing. Once you're on Booking.com, Airbnb, TripAdvisor, and all of these OTAs, you do not own the relationship with that client, which means you're therefore subject to the OTA's policies. And as we understand, Booking.com's policies are never really the most favorable, because they look after them. And it's understandable. You are using their system to build your business. But what I want to teach you here is how to create a database of your own client, so you own the relationship and you can manage the relationship as you feel to. So what I'm showing right now on my screen is probably the most important thing you are going to need to understand before you start your Facebook and Instagram ads machine. This is what we call the pixel. So please don't just jump into this straight away. There's no point running a Facebook ad or Instagram ad if you have not installed your pixel. The pixel is the most crucial part of running a profitable ad campaign. The pixel does a number of things. Now, to give you an overview, I can't show it on here because it's just long and complicated, but it's actually really simple. Every single person that has a Facebook account has access to a pixel. So Facebook gives every single person a specific code. So it's JavaScript code. You copy and paste it from Facebook, and you copy and paste it into your website or your landing page. And that can go into the body or the header of your landing page or your website. What that does is it tracks any visitor that goes onto your website or goes onto a specific page. So for example, if you've got a specific website that says, hey, welcome to so-and-so service accommodation, amazing. What that means is anyone that goes onto that page, Facebook is now able to target that person or track that person's movement around the internet. But if you want to take it one step deeper, you can implement your pixel onto another page. For example, what we do is if someone goes onto the registration page and they don't register because life gets in the way, or maybe they get busy, because of the installation of the pixel, we are able to then retarget that person and say, hey, it seems that you forgot to complete your purchase or complete your checkout or complete your registration. Please do so. You might have noticed it on certain websites. You go online and you're about to buy a pair of shoes and the kids are making noise, dinner needs to be cooked, you're tired, whatever happens, and you forget. And then all of a sudden you jump back on Facebook or Instagram and you see that specific shoe right in front of you saying, hey, buy me now, buy me now, buy me now. That's the process of retargeting. Now that's a little bit deeper, not complicated, but it's a little bit deeper. But in order to do that effectively, you've got to have your pixel installed. Okay, I hope that makes sense. You've got to get your pixel installed. When you are installing your pixel, Facebook gives you two options. They say you can either copy and paste this pixel if you know where you're going to place it, or you can copy and paste it and send it directly to the person that's built your website, and they will know exactly where to implement the pixel. So the pixel also helps with keeping your costs down. The way the Facebook engine works, or the way the Facebook system works, is pretty simple. Facebook will charge you for the work that they are doing. So you might say my budget is £10 a day, and Facebook will do all the work to deliver a conversion for up to £10 a day, and that's what they charge you for. But if you make Facebook's jobs easier by doing some of the work for them, well, it means your cost is going to be significantly reduced. So listen carefully, because Facebook does the work for you to find you clients. But if you've already found the clients and now you're giving them to Facebook, Facebook says, hey, you've done half of the work for me, therefore the cost is going to be significantly more reduced. So I can't emphasize enough, do not start your service accommodation business while running Facebook ad and Instagram ads without implementing your pixel. But do me a favor, don't come back to me and say, hey, how do I implement my pixel? There's more than enough information online on how to do so. Cool. As you can see here, just to give you an overview, I don't know if you can see the screen here. So we've had 5.2 thousand people who have landed on a specific page. We've had 4.6 viewing specific content, and we've had 220 people carrying out the specific action that we've asked them to carry out. If you look a little bit further down here, and that's from July to August, so that's 1 month. If you look down here, page view, I'm not going to click on this. This has been triggered in the last 9 minutes. In the last 9 minutes, someone's viewed the content that we wanted them to view. And in the last 51 minutes, we've had someone carry out the specific action that we wanted them to carry out. I hope that makes sense. Let me try and scroll down, and maybe you can see this. It might not allow you. If you look in this corner just right here, you can see where it says, you can just about see where it says, let's see if it works. No, it doesn't work. It's not going to allow me to. There we go. I don't know if you saw it, where it says setup. It's not going to let me show you. Either way, just in this corner right here, it says setup, and all you've got to do is click on that button there, and it will allow you to go through the process of setting up your pixel. So let's move on from there. So I'm going to show you how you create a Facebook ad, also an Instagram ad, and how you can use this to drive traffic to your serviced accommodation business and get people to inquire, to register, to sign up with you. Now, don't make this mistake, and there's a lot of fluff online. People don't typically book your serviced accommodation through Facebook. It does happen. We get 1 or 2 bookings, but people give you their information or they inquire online. Why is that? Because Facebook is known for showing you cats and dog videos, and for showing you information on your family members and what's going on, and this person at this party and this party that you were not invited to. That's what Facebook is for. People do not use Facebook to book their next holiday. They don't use Facebook to book their next serviced accommodation or hotel. But this again is why you need the pixel, because there's a process called retargeting. Now, retargeting simply means someone sees your ad on Facebook or Instagram, and a little seed is planted. A little bit of excitement goes through their blood, and they say, oh my God, this sounds really cool, or this looks really cool. But the idea of what Facebook was created for means they automatically say, well, do you know what? I'll think about it later. Or if I need to book a holiday, I will go to where I know I should book a holiday from, which is from Google, Booking.com, Airbnb, so and so. This is why you need the retargeting pixel. Because what you do is you run a second ad, which is called the retargeting ad, and it puts your advert back in front of that person. Because remember, initially when they saw the advert, a seed was planted. Then they see it the second time and they become familiar, as we call it. You stay top of mind, which means they start to build the trust factor, and they say, well, let me give these people a try. So don't expect initial conversions. It can happen, as I said, of course, if someone's really eager and they see something and your copy, which means the text is amazing, the image is amazing or the video is amazing and it just captivates them. Yes, you might, but the whole idea of this is building a database and building a list of people who have an initial interest in traveling into your location and staying in that location. But let's go a little bit deeper and let's go straight into this. So what you want to do, as you are probably brand new, is you want to focus on this: traffic. So it says here, what is your marketing objective? Our marketing objective initially is this: traffic. We want to send traffic, which is web traffic, which is Facebook traffic away from Facebook to our specific website or landing page. Catch this. You don't want to send people to your personal page. You don't want to send them to your serviced accommodation business page. You want to send them away from Facebook to a landing page or your website. Remember, Facebook has over 2 billion people on Facebook. I don't know how many people a day, but yeah, they've got 2 billion users. What you want to do is get those 2 billion users to potentially go and view what you are offering. So have a look here. Sends more people to a destination on or off Facebook, such as your website, your app, or messenger conversion. So let's click on this. And always remember to name your campaign so it's easy point of reference, but I'll leave that for the meantime. Okay, so let's go into this to give you a better understanding if you don't understand this already. Have a look here. Facebook is saying, based on not targeting anyone, they can potentially deliver my ads to 43 million people, which is absolutely ridiculous because you don't want 43 million people to see what you are advertising. If you remember correctly, I said the more work you do for Facebook, the cheaper your targeting and the cheaper your ads should be. So if you get Facebook to run an ad to 43 million people, it has to learn who is the right person for you so that they can optimize your ads. But it's got 43 million people to get through. So we want to get this down significantly. As you can see here, it's saying your audience selection is fairly broad, and we want to get this a little bit more specific. So for the purpose of what we're doing, we're leaving this on websites. And then let's scroll down. I'm not going to go through some of the stuff. Now, here is quite important, custom audience, but I'll come back to that later. So what we want to do is we want to target anyone within the location in where we are running our serviced accommodation. So if you are running your serviced accommodation in Birmingham, you can target people in Birmingham. And you can target people within a certain radius. So this one is 40 km, which is about 25 miles away from the center of Birmingham. As you can see here, that's now significantly reduced in terms of your audience size. Let's go and let's try another location. Now, the good thing about this option is you can pretty much search for a street. So you can say, my service accommodation is on this specific street. So I want to target people in this specific area or people that travel into this area. Have a look at this. So you want to target people who live in this location. I wouldn't do that. You want to target people who were recently in this location. Recently means they traveled in and they traveled out. Facebook knows when you leave your house to where you go somewhere else and when you come back. Or people traveling into this location. So that's also quite important. If someone's traveling into this location, that gives Facebook an indication that this person travels in and out of that location, which to us means they are an ideal traveler and they are an ideal person that we can target. So let's go back here and let's try Liverpool, if you are based in the Liverpool area. Liverpool. Okay. There we go. So Liverpool, and then 79, 80 km in and around Liverpool, Preston, Bradford, Manchester, Stoke-on-Trent, wherever these, Chester. It's got 5.9 million people. Now, of course, as we start to target more, this is going to drop down ridiculously, which is amazing. But let's stick to what I know, and let's say London. Now, for the purpose of this, I'm just going to use London. And let's say we want to target people 80 km, which is around 60 miles in and around London as well. Okay. Now, this is crucial. You really shouldn't be running these Facebook ads or Instagram ads until you have a profile of your customers. which means you kind of understand who and what your customer is, what they look like. Are they male? Are they female? Is it both? What's the age range? This is a mistake that many people make when we do the training, and they say, okay, well, I'm just going to target every single person here. But the truth is, it's not every 18-year-old that stays in your serviced accommodation. So you want to kind of build a profile of your type of people. So let's say our average would be anyone from around 24, 25 to around 60 years old for some of our units. Now you can see again that's gone down ridiculously to around 11 million potential people that they can reach. This is where it gets really interesting. For the people who have not used Facebook ads or Instagram ads before, this will blow your mind because it's actually really simple, and you have to be doing it. So what you want to do is sit down for a moment, pull out a piece of paper, and draw up who your ideal customer is. Yes, we've done that here. We say they're around 24 to 60. We say they're both men and female. But what do they like? Who are they? What are their behaviors? Where do they hang out? Because if you get this part wrong, then your entire thing is skewed, because you're going to be sending Facebook traffic to the wrong people, and your ad will be getting to the wrong people, and people are just going to slate you and your business. So to make things easier for you, as I said, I was going to show you how you do it. This is a quick and fast track way that you can start to determine who your ideal customer is. So what's one common company that we all have in service accommodation that we all understand is vital for our service accommodation business? Airbnb. There we go. As you can see right here, 120 million people have an interest, according to Facebook, in Airbnb. So would you say that's an ideal person to target? Of course it is. So let's click on that for the moment. As you can see, based on our search criteria, we're saying we want to target people in London and 80 km in and around London, and they need to be between the age of 24 to 60, and it's both men and female that have an interest in Airbnb. That now says our potential reach is about 1.1 million people, which is absolutely incredible. Now what you've got to do is now think outside of the box. What's affiliated, or what is an affinity with Airbnb? So a lot of people say, well, people that travel, people that stay in fancy luxury accommodation. But if you don't know, one of the things you might be able to do, or one of the things you should do, is just click on this button right here. Facebook have made this completely easier for you, and you click on suggestion. Now, suggestion simply means what is connected with what you've put in here. So, of course, people that use Booking.com, it means that they are travelers. It means that these are people who have an interest in Booking.com, which means they're more likely to be people that use Booking.com. Another one right here, TripAdvisor, Hotel.com, Trivago, people that have an interest in traveling. As you can see, that's 1 billion people that have an interest in traveling. This is 300 million people that have an interest in holidays, people who use Expedia websites, people who use Skyscanner, people who are interested in tourism, 800 million people. So what you want to do is test out each and every one of these for your location. Now, to some of you might say, oh, that cost a little bit of money, but I'll come back to how you should test this out specifically to find out what is working for you, what is working for your specific area, and what is working for the type of business that you are providing. Okay, so let's click on this and let's take it one step deeper, and I'm going to show you what the most effective way and what probably the cheapest way to land your customers in front of you is. Now, notice this says interest right here. These are people who are interested in Airbnb. But let's take it a little step deeper, because as you can see here, Facebook categorize all their users into 3 categories. So demographics, interest, and behaviors. Which one do you think is more, let's say, targeted? Of course, it's going to be behavior, because Facebook knows your behavior patterns. Facebook knows you carry out this specific thing. This is how you behave. This is what you do. So to make things easier for you, if you want to get on this straight away, is you can actually target this frequent travelers. So have a look at this. Facebook knows if someone is a frequent traveler, because Facebook knows pretty much what you do. Facebook knows when you go on holiday. They know how often you go on holiday. They know where you're staying when you're on holiday. They know pretty much every single thing about you. But let's take it a little step deeper. You press the suggestion button, and then this is important: frequent international travelers. So again, if you've got a service accommodation in a, let's say, major city, If you've got a service accommodation where there's an airport, then of course you've got to be targeting these people. Frequent international travelers. That means someone who travels from America to London, someone that comes from Australia to so and so. Anyone that pretty much jumps on an aeroplane will fall into this. And this is important because it's a behavior. So it's not I have an interest in becoming an international traveler or a frequent traveler. This too specifically means this is what I do. So you would be absolutely silly not to run an ad to put your advert in front of these people who have shown Facebook through their actions that they are travelers. So these people are being targeted by hotels and B&Bs because these hotels and B&Bs know that these people travel in and out. And all you've got to do is bag yourself 2 or 3 of these, and that's you done. And then that means you reduce your OTA commission, and eventually you reduce your advert spend. Why? Because you've got people who travel frequently and you turn them into your own personal customers where you have the relationship with them, you've built the relationship, and they do things on your policy as opposed to Booking.com's policy or Airbnb's policy. Again, I'm not slating Booking.com. You absolutely need Booking.com. But at the same time, you've got to start building a client base and a client list of your own that you control the relationship. Think about it. For the people who've used Booking.com, the cancellation policies are absolutely crazy. The commission is absolutely crazy. They control the relationship with that customer. So you pretty much don't control anything because you are at their beck and call. So how about you create your own set of customers and you build relationship with these people and they become repeat customers, and then you use something that so many people are forgetting to use, a referral system. I had a guy called Simon that stayed with me for about 18 months. He stayed with me for 18 months as a frequent traveler. And I posed the simple question to him within 6 months of him staying with me: do you know anyone else that is similar to you, that travels all the time and is working on this specific project that you're working on? And he said, yes, my colleague Terry. And then that's how I built a relationship with Terry. And then we ended up getting Terry to stay with us for around 12 months as well. And that carries on building and building and building. Why? Because you own that relationship. But let's keep going. Now, I don't want to complicate things too much. This is entirely up to you, but this is how you run the ads on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm just going to click on this, but before I do that actually, so this is, you use automatic placements to maximize your budget and show your ads to more people. Facebook delivery system will allocate your ad budget across multiple placements based on where they're likely to perform best. So essentially Facebook is saying, just trust us and we'll do all the legwork for you. Now for me, I'll show you what we do right here. So you've got the option of clicking whether you want the ad to show up on Facebook. Of course you would. Facebook is a very, very buoyant platform where there are billions of people using it on a daily basis. Audience network means websites that are affiliated, so not necessarily owned by Facebook. So let's say a games website. If you play Candy Crush and all those other sado games, I'm not calling anyone a sado, but yeah, well I am. If you play all those other kind of games, typically to get to the next level, you have to maybe watch an ad for a second, or you have to click on a specific button and it shows you an ad before you can upgrade or move to the next section. That's similar to what an audience network is. It's anything that's outside of Facebook, but they're also very, very great. So, and the other one is Instagram. Instagram is absolutely incredible. So you get the choice to click here whether you want your ads to appear on Instagram. If you are targeting a younger audience, let's say anyone from 18 to 35, you absolutely need to make sure you are clicking on the Instagram one. Now, at the moment, I don't use this. I don't use messenger ads. They've been around for a little bit of time. I still haven't had much, let's say, luck with them or fantastic results with them. So I remove that. So I allocate my budget to Facebook, Instagram, and audience network. So as you can see here, it's automatically removed Messenger. So Messenger is when you go into your inbox and you see an advert floating around from somebody. But altogether, what I'm saying here, there we go, Messenger inbox. Altogether, it means my advert or your advert is going to be shown on someone's Facebook feed, on their Instagram feed, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook video feed, on the right-hand side column, and stories. Now, of course, if you're using a video to advertise your property, or you've got if you're using a video, then of course you want to run Facebook stories and you want to run Instagram stories. These are great ways for conversion, and you would be missing out significantly if you didn't do so. You do not want to touch anything else on this. And then you've got the option here. Now this comes down to you and how you want to run your business. Now you've got the option here to do something called a landing page view, which means when someone lands on your page, you are going to be charged. Or you've got the options for this, link clicks, if someone clicks on your link. So have a look. We deliver your ads to people who are most likely to click on them. As I mentioned before, Facebook and Instagram, same company, know exactly who's likely to do what based on how they've interacted before with previous content. So have a look at this. We deliver your ads to people who are more likely to click on your ad and wait for it to load. So again, they know the type of people that click on ads and the people that wait for it to actually load up so that they can see what's on the other side of the ad, or people who are just likely to click on it. So it's entirely up to you which one of these two you want to use, link clicks or landing page views. I don't touch any of these two. And then this part here. Now, I recommend, because you are brand new, £5 a day. Start with a £5 a day budget, which means you're only going to spend around £35 per week in order to see the sort of conversion. Now that word is really important. A lot of people say, oh well, yes, someone clicked on my ad and I got a few likes on my ad, but what was the purpose of you setting up the ad? Was that to get someone to your landing page or to your website to give you their information? That's how we classify a conversion. But of course, as I said, conversions are different. If you just want to build awareness around your service accommodation business, then of course you can count that as a conversion. But that's entirely up to you. But I recommend you start with a £5 a day budget. And that's crucial because of this. Let me go back a second. That's really crucial because of this. If you remember here, we were going to target frequent travelers. So I would recommend you run a £5 a day budget to people who are frequent travelers. And then you run another ad at £5 a day to your international frequent, where are we, frequent international travelers. So that's another ad. So that's already £10 a day. And then if you wanted, you can pick other ones. Anyone who's interested in tourism, of course, that's a viable person. Anyone who's interested in travel and leisure, anyone who's interested in holidays, anyone who's interested in travel, anyone who's interested in business travel, that's another way of you getting corporate clients and corporate customers. Anyone who's interested in first class travel, adventure travel, you've got so many. This one's quite cool actually, and a lot of people miss out on this. Engaged shopper. Have a look at this. An engaged shopper is a behavior. So these are typically people who tend to buy off Facebook. They tend to click on buttons that say buy now or shop now or leave inquire now. So these are people who you really want to be targeting. As you can see, they are behaviors. Have a look at this. Someone who returned from traveling 2 weeks ago, air travel, business class. You've got the entire world at your oysters. At your fingers. You need to definitely be running these type of ads. But let's move on. So, as I said, £5 a day. And I'm not really going to go into detail on this next section because this is entirely up to you how you want to play this. You've got the option of running a video ad or an image ad. You can create an instant experience which you can play around with that at your own time. Upload your video or your picture. And then this is where you put your content. So you would have to write something absolutely phenomenal, something that's attractive. You become a marketer at this point, and this is what we call the copy, because this is what's going to stop people. Well, the image is going to stop people, and then the copy, which is this text here, is what's going to keep people listening or reading. So you've got to make sure you write something really amazing and something really captivating to keep your audience's attention. And just have a look on this side here, because remember, we're running the ads to 19 different channels. So that means, have a look here, newsfeed, that's going to be on Facebook, that's going to be on Facebook, 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 Facebook stories. Now it's going to be advertising on Instagram, Instagram stories, audience network. Remember, as I said, audience network, audience network, audience network, audience network, audience network. So you just want to have a look at that to make sure that what you've clicked on in terms of where you want your advert displayed is where it's planning to display them. And then you want to put the landing page, or where you want the information to, where you want your customers to go to. And then you've got this option here. You can either do learn more. Many people do this, which I don't agree with, book now. That might put a number of people off because they don't know who you are. The whole idea of what I'm teaching you here is to get as many customers as possible to become familiar with your business, give you their email address, and you then create a system to keep in touch with them. But you take that data that you've been provided, and you're going to do what I'm going to show you next. So this is just phase one. This is how you make things significantly better and cheaper for yourself. Let's go back. There we go. This part right here. Okay, now if this is something you definitely want to do, or maybe start learning how to, of course, give me a buzz and I will be able to create this with you. Of course, it's going to cost you money, but again, it's definitely something you want to start doing and putting into place. So I want to show you why you must start doing this immediately. Here we go. Custom audience. Now, a custom audience, just keep remembering what I said earlier. The more work you've done for Facebook, the more accurate your targeting and your results are going to be. So when I say the more work you've done, let me show it to you here. So we go to custom audience and we press create. Let's go right here. Oh, I don't know if you can see this on my screen because of how my screen is set up, but I'll just show you. You can see the small angle right here. Website traffic. So have a look in this corner right here. So web traffic. Create an audience of your website visitors. Use data captured by your Facebook pixel to reach people who have taken specific action, such as adding to cart. So again, let me reiterate this. If someone has done something already on your website, if they've already shown interest, if they've gone to your website, it means they have a certain level of interest. So what you want to do here in this custom audience thing is you allow Facebook to then retarget or remarket or go back to that same person and put your advert back in front of that person to say, hey, I know you were interested at one point, but something happened and you did not carry out the specific action that I wanted you to carry out. Here's another chance. Which means Facebook hasn't had to do so much work. Which means you haven't had to do so much work. But your pixel has been able to do all that work because it's tracked that client in your spider web. Now, I like to refer to the pixel more as a spider web because think about it. When an insect or an ant gets stuck in a spider web, they can't go anywhere. And that's exactly how the pixel works. If someone gets trapped in your pixel, they can't go anywhere, which means you can always come back later and eat them. Of course, that's if you were a spider, of course. Now, this second part is so crucial, customer list. And this is what I'm trying to show you how to do. Use Facebook to build a customer list of people who are interested in starting their that are searching for somewhere to stay. Okay, so create an audience using existing customer information. Data will be hashed before uploading, and we won't store the data afterwards. So again, someone comes to your Facebook, someone clicks on your Facebook ad. They then give you their information, such as their email address, their contact number. You store that information and then you give that information back to Facebook. In fact, let me go one step deeper and show you how this might actually be really beneficial for you. You might not be able to see it properly because of how my screen is set up. There we go. There we go. So have a look at this. You can only see half of my screen, to be honest. You can collect people's phone numbers. So if you collect people's phone numbers, you can now come back onto Facebook and upload the list of phone numbers, and Facebook will be able to find that specific person based on if they gave Facebook that phone number when they were signing up to Facebook, or if they've uploaded that phone number into their Facebook account. Email address, you can't see this here, but this section right here says email address. That's the easiest way. Once you collect someone's email address, you then upload that file, bam, and Facebook is able to target those people if it's the same email address they used to set up their Facebook when they were signing up. Have a look at this: date of birth, year of birth, gender, age, postcode, surname. You are able to target any person on Facebook if you have the data. And Facebook says, hey, as long as you've obtained this data legally, then we're going to be able to put your advert in front of those people. So again, I can't reiterate, stop trying to find the quick way to find a customer, build a relationship. So create a Facebook ad to attract people to see your advert, to inquire or to provide you with their details. And then you can start to build a relationship with them through nurturing and creating an email marketing system, which is something that I can teach you and show you how to do. So let's go back. So remember, these two are so crucial: website traffic, because the pixel does all the work, and here you've got all the data of the person, and therefore Facebook can go out and find them for you. That's where you want to get into. The second phase on this is when it starts to get significantly more crazy and easier, is this: lookalike audience. Now, if you don't know what a lookalike audience is, let me quickly explain it to you. A lookalike audience is someone that looks like, not physically, but someone who fits the profile of your current customer. So in order to use a lookalike audience, you've got to have a custom audience, which means you say to Facebook, hey, I've given you a list of 100 customers. They are my ideal type of customers. They are people who are interested in serviced accommodation in my area. So Facebook, do me a favor. Go out there and find people who look like, again, not physically, but who resemble my ideal customer avatar or my ideal customer profile. And Facebook will go out there and they will find hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people who are similar to the type of people that fit your criteria. This is why, as I said, you've got to get the foundations done correctly so you can start using this specific system. And essentially what Facebook is going to do is find those people and put them in front of you, which means you haven't had to do much work. So again, as I said, I'm more than happy to go into further details with anyone who wants me to help them set this up. Ping me a message. Please don't ask me how you do it and so and so. I'm happy to teach you how to do it. And of course, there is a cost to it. But you've got all the information now that you can pretty much go off and do it by yourself. So I wish you all the best, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.